Libra, welcome to your monthly reading for January of 2022. My name is Brandon Tobias. It's an honor to have you here on our channel, True Love and Lives Weekly, with your host, Brandon Tobias. If you're new here, we do weekly and monthly tarot readings, astrology readings, soul purpose readings, all for the purpose of helping you find your legacy, leave your legacy here on earth, as well as find your true love counterpart, your divine soul counterpart, the person you were meant to be with, all through the magic of tarot and astrology. So welcome. Let's get right into your reading. Again, this is for January of 2022. We're going to call and open up a portal for the helpful guides, angels, loved ones, and masters to give guidance for your sign in particular, Libra. And then we're going to finish out with some announcements in case you want to work with me deeper on a personal level, get a personal reading, one-on-one session, yada, yada, yada. But for now, let's get into the content. Opening up this ceremony here and now through the power of unconditional love, calling in the guides and angels, loved ones, masters, and wise ones. Again, through the power of unconditional love, guides and angels, loved ones, masters, and wise ones, we are open to your guidance specifically for the sign of Libra for January of 2022. Please give us whatever helpful guidance you deem necessary for this particular sign in the areas of true love and life. Thank you so much. And so it is, and so it shall be. The ceremony is now open. The Knight of Swords is here. This is the second time in this month of readings that a sign has gotten the Knight of Swords as the first card out. I think Aries or Taurus was the other sign, but it feels, Libra, like you have a calling. Like there's something calling you forth. There's something calling a different side of you out, or something calling out part of your truer nature out to and for the world to play in society. There's an urgency. There may be a part of you that feels like it can be of greater service in a different way than you have been so far for other people, for society, that is being called forth. There's an urgency that you may be feeling this month, in the month of January, Libra, to get your words out, to get your thoughts out, to get your opinions out there, to be known. And, Libra, in terms of the astrology generally, is a very wise sign. I don't know if many people recognize that about Libra, but Libras are natural teachers. They're wisdom-oriented beings that like to teach and share their gifts of knowledge. And what I'm getting here, Libras, you are one of those people, particularly if you're watching this, who has the gift of knowledge and wisdom that is being called forth to share it in a more open way, that as a result of the urgency that you may be feeling. And what we invite you to do here is, if you feel this urgency, feel this calling in your particular field, or any field in your life, like in terms of your professional study or your career, things like that, to let yourself go into it, let yourself speak freely, let yourself go, because it's needed. What I'm hearing is you're needed. Your gifts, your wisdom, everything about you is needed right now. So please let them be known. King of Wands with the Queen of Cups. Very interesting first two cards to bring out here. There's an element, Libra, you may be feeling, okay, with this. Again, whether you identify more as the masculine energy or the feminine energy, there's this push-pull dynamic between the open-hearted feminine and the driven and passionate masculine. And the open-hearted feminine. Okay, whether you're the masculine or the feminine, a lot of feminines are watching this channel, so I'm aware. Five of Wands, but there's this conflict between maybe you or someone you're with, potentially, or an energy around you, stepping into or being in that way of King of Wands, where it's more about drive, more about, again, passion, moving forward, making things happen, and looking at things a little bit more, I guess, surface level, not wanting to go as deep into things, but really more motivated to get things done and to move forward, to inspire greatness on a career level. And the Queen of Cups saying, but no, wait, it's about deep love and commitment and care and compassion and all these things. But there's just tension between these two. Like, Queen of Cups and King of Wands are, they're allies, but they're also adversaries. Interestingly, there's tension between them two because sometimes they don't see eye to eye, because sometimes the King of Wands doesn't always have the most open heart, and sometimes the Queen of Cups doesn't always have the most motivation. So they are helpful for one another, but they're also allies. So if you're experiencing this tension between you and another person, whether you're in a relationship with them or whether it's at work, family, friendship, just know that there may be a bit of conflict I see here that may have to be navigated between these two energies. But the main message here is, despite, if you have a urgency or a calling to speak or to get something out there, this message is to say you have to be willing to get it out there despite the conflict you may receive from doing so, okay? Particularly within or against these two energies, these two conflicting energies, whether, again, in your personal life or outside of that. High Priestess with the Four of Pentacles. There may be a fear here because of a loss of money, too. Like maybe you want to speak out against something going on at your work or career or in your personal relationships that are providing money or income for you in some way or helping you to sustain yourself, and speaking out against this would go against that or brush up the fear or the concern that you may not have enough money to survive, something like that. High Priestess, even though deep inside, psychically, you are attuned to something not so right going on, something not so, corruption, right? Greed. This is greed as well. So it's like, there's a deep inner knowing, High Priestess with the Knight of Swords, with the Five of Wands, deep inner knowing and an urgency to act somewhere in your life appearing here this month in January about the internal greed happening or and conflict needing to happen because of the internal greed or corruption that is occurring somewhere in your environment. But again, I am sensing quite a bit of conflict here. So Seven of Pentacles here, Two of Cups, and the Devil. There it is. So this month, I don't know where, I don't know how, I don't know from who, but Libras, you are facing a charge. You are facing a charge of not to you, but you are facing outward a charge of corruption, greed, particularly evil, that you are having to make the choice around whether you're speaking out because you know deep inside, but that it might threaten your livelihood a little bit in some way. It feels like a decision at work, to be honest with you. Could be in a relationship too. Two of Cups here, Seven of Pentacles, the Magician, Six of Swords. Without this particular action urgency, Knight of Swords, it leaves you a little bit dazed and confused, right? The feeling is, or a little bit unenthusiastic, right? Not really motivated in life. So it's almost like you're put between a rock and a hard place, because on one end it's like if you speak out or if you act against something, it may threaten your livelihood, or it seems like it at least will threaten your livelihood, and it's like a big leap of faith. It's a big scary thing. It's a big deal. But on the other end, if you don't do it, then you're going to feel not so good inside. You're going to feel kind of shitty inside is what I see here, because you know that morally you don't stand for whatever's going on around you. So it's one of those situations where you have a big opportunity to make a big shift in your life, Libra, and by choosing the choice that God would make in this particular situation, or that you know the God inside of you, right, that God inside of you would go for, this is how you learn your lesson and move forward and evolve into Magician, Six of Swords, a new way of being, a new version of yourself, an empowered version of yourself, both with mind, heart, and drive intact. King of Wands with the Queen of Cups. Hierophant, Queen of Swords. Three of Swords, Ten of Cups, and the Page of Wands. So there's something very childish happening over here. There's one end of your life where there's a lot of childish activities happening, like nonsense kind of deal is what I'm getting. Like nonsense, childish, kind of not very mature ways of being, okay? There's another end of your life where there's greatness potentially there. But the greatness requires you having, one, the confidence to step forth and speak your truth. Queen of Swords says also that you are not willing to take any bullshit or any lower energy from anyone who's not meant to be there. Or influence is what I'm hearing too. Not taking any influence from people who don't want the highest good for you, right? The highest possible achievements. You have to be very wary is what I'm hearing too. Three of Swords, the Queen of Swords, of what people's motivations for you are, right? Do people genuinely care about you, Libra, and want you to succeed? Or, right, I'm talking about taking a look at the people in your life, taking a scrutinous look at the people in your life, and asking yourself, does this person really want me to succeed and want the highest possible good for my entire life? Or are they just working with me so that they can be benefited, they can be saved, they can make their money or whatever it is? That question will solve a lot of, or give you a lot of answers in your life to help you make decisions and move forward. 10 of Cups here with the 2 of Cups with the High Priestess. There's also a deep inner knowing in terms of love and relationship about the potentiality of a future with someone that you are leading towards. You're leading yourself towards by making these good decisions. It's almost like you're on a track here towards the greatest possible outcome in love and in life, but in love specifically. But it's like your work situation or some other area of your life is having to be straightened out first in order to facilitate the greatest possible love reality that I do see you facing here. Final outcome card, the Star card, the 10 of Swords, and the 2 of Swords. So this is the second time the 2 of Swords now has come up as the final outcome card in another reading. So there are generally very strong collective energies this week and this month for January. 2 of Swords, Star card, and 10 of Swords. Your destiny, your choice of a lifetime is upon you. I when I was channeling right earlier, I meant it. Like, this is a big choice that will either allow you to really feel good about the rest of your life, who you are, in an empowered way with your heart, your soul, your drive intact, right? Whatever this decision is, whatever this conversation is, whatever this action is, it will change the rest of your life because of who you believe you are, who you feel you are, and who you become. So, on the one hand, there's, stepping into this greatness, saying no and keeping out anyone who does not have these great things in mind and heart for you, saying yes to the continued, all the while that this is happening. I do feel that at least inside, right, whether this is whatever type of relationship this is, romantically or otherwise, or even within yourself, but if you're in a romantic track here or something like that, keep going with it. That's going to lead to really good stuff. Don't doubt it. Just keep going. Just moving forward with it. Keep moving forward with it. It's really good. And you know this inside, but it may not seem like that on the outside sometimes, potentially. You may be confused about, but don't worry. Keep going. It's really, really good. Okay, trust me on that. Star card, 2 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords. But there's a choice here to really end a very painful negative cycle, and I'm hearing relationship with someone outside of you. I'm not talking about romantically necessarily, although it could be, but I'm talking about more so a relationship you have with some way of being, energy, person at work, family member, friendship, something that was toxic here, that's very childish, that relies on greed and selfishness or selfish manners, is coming to an end, and you are having to make a big gut decision that will change the rest of your life here this month here, Libra. So I definitely advise you to take a look at what that decision could be if you feel it coming up, and to make it very wisely and with conscious intention. 3 final advice cards here. We have the 9 of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the Fool card. So there is the Fool card. I kept feeling it come up. This is a leap of faith into the thing that might worry you the most. The test to know if you're on track this month, Libra, is, are you taking the leap? Here's the question you got to ask yourself. Am I taking the leap of faith into the thing that would typically cause the most amount of fear in my mind specifically? Page of Swords with the 9 of Swords. Am I choosing to take a leap of faith into the unknown that would typically cause the most amount of fear in my mind? Okay. If this is the case, and I'll talk about this Page of Pentacles in a second, then you are on track. This is your gauge. I know it's backwards sometimes a little bit, but this is your gauge. If you are moving in the right direction spiritually, okay, per the will of God and the universe and the energy and the flow, then the answer is yes, I am choosing to be brave, speak and act with wholeheartedness and urgency, taking a leap of faith into something that is, I perceive as risky or fearful. At the end of the day, isn't so much, but I still fear it with my mind. That will lead to a whole new way of being, a different perception of who I am and who I am meant to be, and you actually transforming yourself. This is the way forward, really. Page of Pentacles with the Chariot, with the Strength card, with the Four of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. Just keep going. If you're in a romantic situation, I'm hearing to tell you, just keep going with that. You keep moving forward. That's going to lead to an amazing outcome. You don't got to worry about that, but this month you may not be as focused upon it. You may be focused on other things that are calling for your attention, Libra, and that's okay. Just know that that particular romantic track or feelings or pursuit that you're on, if you are on one, I'm hearing to say, just keep going with that. It's really, really good. You're not going to regret continuing forward with that one. Okay, but there's another relationship or another energy or another thing in your life that's needing to come to a big, vast change and sudden end, and also urgency with the way in which you speak and what you are saying in that particular situation that puts it to an end to completely transform everything about you, who you are, and your actual energetic substance. So, needless to say, Libra, it is a very big month for you. I am very excited for you for who and what you are stepping into this month and after. Your life will never be the same. It has an opportunity to shift completely and rapidly based on the decisions you make and the choices you make. And remember, it's all about taking that leap of faith into the thing that typically causes the most amount of fear in your mind, but this time will lead to an amazing outcome. So thank you so much for watching, Libra. If you loved this content, you want more of it, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button because it helps me with the algorithm, and be sure to hit that bell button as well so you're notified every time I release a video on your sign. The other thing is we go live every single Sunday, typically at 1 p.m. PST. That might be changing to 5 p.m. PST. And we go live for the True Love Collective. We do the astrological horoscope. We do a collective reading. We do a Q&A. We do lots of stuff. So be sure to join us there on Sunday as well if you're interested in watching as well. So thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.